Hello, welcome to Fat Mascara. We jumped right into it, Julie. I'm Jen.
We did. And I'm Julie.
And it's
What's
Fat
up?
Mascara, a podcast about beauty culture. I was like, Julie, I got a heart out. Wolfgang's got to go to the vet. We got to do the damn thing.
We got to take care of Wolfgang.
Guys, he's having his first, I think it's called trazodone. Is it tramadone? I don't know.
I'm not, I don't have any pets, so I don't.
Well, I took him to the vet. I meant to tell you this. The vet was like, he's such a nervous guy. Why don't you give him a little something before he comes to vet appointments? And I was like,
Like weed?
Like an anti-anxiety pill.
Do they have those for dogs?
Yes. And she was like, well, why have him go through that trauma if he doesn't need to? And I was like, am I a horrible pet owner? So she gave me for future visits this little pill I just gave him. So I feel like it's a ticking time bomb before.
He's like, okay, I'm getting loopy.
He's like, why'd she give me
happen.
peanut butter? I only get peanut butter. He's going to hate peanut butter.
Like, she's about to take me back to that place.
Yeah, we go high-low. It's beauty, it's animals. How's your week been? Or 2 weeks since I've seen you.
I know, it's been so good. So I had an amazing fireside chat with the one and only Taraji P. Henson over at Hearst Tower.
Cookie. I mean, forever in my mind, Cookie.
I mean, Cookie. I mean, Hidden Figures. We have, what is it? It's Hard Out Here for a Pimp. Why am I blanking?
Oh, yeah. Oh, she won awards for that too.
She is a queen of the highest order, and she's also a beauty entrepreneur. Hello, yes. TPH, body and hair, which her scalp care collection is chef's kiss. It is so good. It is actually like one of the best scalp care, I think, product lines out there.
When I did that, where I interviewed 50 beauty editors about their most and least favorite celebrity lines, TPH kept coming up.
It's so good. It's just good. And it's beautiful packaging. And she has this one called the Master Cleanse with the 3 nozzles. I feel like we've talked about this before. And you can like really get in to your scalp.
To the rootage.
Yeah, to the rootage. And it's just really great. And so we had an awesome conversation. We were like just 2 girlfriends chit-chatting in front of 300 people.
And a fire? Sorry.
No.
A virtual fireside.
No, it was like a fireside chat, but it was in person. She came to Hearst Tower, and we were in the theater.
But was there a fire is what I want to know.
There was no fire. There was no fire, except from our souls, from talking to each other.
Okay.
Everyone was like, oh my God, you guys seem like you were old girlfriends for so long. And I'm like, we have worked together. I worked with her on a few covers at Essence. And so this was our first time seeing each other since before the pandemic. And so it was just like getting back on track again. And we talked about all the things, her career. She's been really vocal around mental health, or what she likes to call mental wealth, which I think is really great. And
wait, so when we're doing well with mental health, we are full of mental wealth.
Yes. She was like, we need mental wealth. I get that it's health and all of that, but I like to think of it as wealth, because like wealth can be so many things. When I talk about generational wealth, I'm not only talking about having money in the bank, which I would like at some point, but I also talk about giving my children experiences and making them more worldly. That's generational wealth. And so she talks about mental wealth, and I love that. And she's great. You know, she also has a Moscato company called 7 Daughters.
Okay, in my head, Moscato is not Muscat, the French wine, it's the Italian sweet wine?
Yes, it's like a sweet wine.
Okay.
And it's so good. She came up after our chat. She came up to the Cosmo offices and did a whole tasting with us.
Is she one of 7 daughters?
I actually do not know the story
it's a good
behind
name,
the
but
7 Daughters name.
Yeah.
But it was almost like, I think that name was already existed, and they tapped her to come in to kind of lead the way on this spirit. But anyway, it's really good. It's super tasty. And she's just like an authentic queen. Everyone was just being like, she's so real. And I'm like, love it. She's like, I am someone who would be on set. I'm worrying about the crew. I'm not a diva. I really was not raised that way. And it's just important that we are kind to everyone, no matter what your status. I mean, this woman is an Academy Award nominated actress and a Golden Globe winning actress.
I want the day, Julie, for you to come on and give us the negative tea on all these celebrities that meet. I feel like every time we hear about you interview,
I have negative tea.
interviewing a celebrity. You're like, I loved her. You gotta throw us a bone one time.
Right. But if you don't have something nice to say, you don't say it at all.
That's true.
That is. So I like to try to keep it cute and come up in here and keep it cute.
So if we've seen you've written about someone and we don't hear about them when you pop onto Fat Mascara, we can all make our own conclusions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just will not give you any of my
I sort of operate by the
my
same
breath.
journalistic principle, which is I'm not going to say things super negative, but if I don't talk about it, there's a reason.
Like that's how we do with products. It's like if we're not writing about it or putting it on like on the pages or on the websites and like what we're doing on our social media, you can guess that it's not our favorite thing. Yeah. It's not necessarily like we hate it, but there are better things out there. We're going to talk about the better things, right?
Yeah. If someone asked me specifically about one product, I would be honest.
Yes.
But I always like, when you're a manager, you're like, do the Oreo. Something nice, then your negative feedback, and then something nice again.
Constructive criticism.
Thank you. Yes.
What have you been up to?
Well, I have to report back to you since this conversation started with you months ago at this point on bathhouses.
Yes.
That then I had on Robert Hammond, who was trying to bring bathhouse culture to the United States. And then
and you went to see some show?
Yeah, I saw the bathing culture show. Now I went to the bathhouse that came up again and again, and Garrett said he loved it too, was called The Other Ship. It's in Flatiron. It's on like 20th Street.
Okay.
And they started out in Toronto, Canada. It's there's no bar, but there's like a tea. So that it's good if you're sober curious, for getting together with friends. There's treatments, there's cold plunges, and Diva Cup, the menstrual cups.
Yeah.
They're expanding they're calling it pelvic wellness, speaking of wellness. But I was like,
that's a new term.
Isn't this just vulva care? It was like a vulva wash.
I guess like pelvic floor. I guess it goes back to the pelvic floor, like doing your heels and stuff.
The whole region, not just the vulva.
That area needs a lot of help, I think, sometimes.
The root chakra, the base of it all, right down there.
Right.
So they did a class in the Other Ship in the bathhouse. We were in the sauna for 20 minutes doing self-massage and like a guided meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And
self-massage?
Yeah, like sort of our arms. But
like rubbing yourself down? Okay.
Yeah, that was not the highlight for me. But I was like a minute late and they had started. So I ran in and I sat on like the top bench. And about 15 minutes through, I was like, oh, something's happening. Something's happening. I come to find out that the higher benches, clearly, Jen, science, hot air rises. And she's like, at this point, if anybody wants to move down a bench, I was wondering why I was the only person like up in the stadium style seating. And I'm like up here. I thought I took a drug. I swear to God, after it was like 15 minutes in, something happened inside me that like at my root chakra was warming up big time. And all of a sudden I was getting like, you're an athlete. We're going to talk about this, but like runner's high. It was runner's high, which I've experienced when doing athletics very few times. And when you do, you're like, oh my God, it's real. They're not lying.
Yes.
Like that endorphin rush. So it came on and I'm looking around. Is anybody else experiencing this? What's happening? And I guess it's because like I gave into it and really let the heat get in there. And your body thinks bad things are happening and just starts flooding you with the good chemicals. And from there, she took us to the cold plunge and 0 degrees Celsius, so 32. She gives you a breathing technique so your body doesn't freak out because apparently when you get into the ice cold water, your brain is like, okay, we fell in a frozen lake.
Yeah.
And I went in and I didn't even realize I did this. And it's like, came out of me like really loud. So the
literally
woman,
like an audible
because
gasp.
You think you're dying. And she came over and she just put her hand on my arm and she said, breathe in and then just breathe out. And I was able to stay in for 2 minutes. Every other bitch in there got out of the thing. I closed my eyes because I was like it was crazy.
I do love like an intense cold plunge situation. Like I've done like 39 degrees for like 6 minutes.
You're amazing because you have to get past that first 10, 15 seconds.
And you just are like, I'm not going to die. Like I just keep telling my brain, I'm not going to die. I'm not going to die. This is good for me. This is good for me. You can get through this. You can get through this.
Yes. And so my eyes closed. I was having like this otherworldly experience. And then like a dum-dum, I opened my eyes and she's like, okay, if you had already gotten out, we still have 30 seconds left. Try and get back in. I opened my eyes. I am the only damn person in a plunge. It felt kind of silly, but
No, you didn't feel strong and like, wow, I made it past what everyone else
Well, I wanted
did.
to like share it with other people, but if you don't stay in it, you don't get that rush that we're both talking about.
Right. But did you get out afterwards like, y'all are some wusses? Like, I did it.
No, because I was in a positive mental wealth space. And I was like, I wish for all of you divas to experience this as well. No, I secretly was like, I'm a badass. But
you are.
Julie, it's amazing. So the heat to the cold and then back into the sauna, and they have a beautiful pit area with like this fire where you can just lounge around. And it was totally cool to be in my bathing suit with a bunch of other cool women.
So I want to do this. You can do it alone though too. Does it have to be a group setting?
Can. You do not.
Okay. They have this kind of experience, like you can have a private room at Remedy Place. So I did it for my birthday where you have like an hour and a half where you have your own infrared sauna. And then you have your own cold plunge and you can go back and forth as many times as you want. They have like a little how-to, like do this for 3 minutes, do this.
Yeah.
It's so good for you. Cryotherapy, I mean, I'm sure you've read all of the stuff. Like, it's so good for your body, like anti-inflammatory.
I felt so good that night. I slept like a baby.
Oh, good. I just wish it wasn't so expensive. Like, I wish I had my own little homestead with my own sauna and like cold plunge, like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Which would be nice. But I will say that social aspect of it is cool. It was cool to be in these big rooms with other people having this little journey. It felt very community. And so I put it on Instagram. I was like, should Fat Mascara host? Like, should we host one of these classes?
Yes.
Because Garrett was into the idea too. And I bet I can get Jess on board.
Is this truly a question?
Absolutely. It's not. It's rhetorical at this point. We're doing it.
Yes, we're doing it. Okay, done.
Done. All right. Should Taraji come?
Let's invite her.
I feel like she might. Who knows? She's cool.
She might. She's hello, mental wealth.
Exactly.
This will give you good mental wealth. Look how we closed that loop.
We did. That means we just got to go talk about the news because this is like the perfect intro ever. All right, let's go. So, Julie, I think you're the perfect person to talk to about this news item. Mm-hmm. I think we've come to the moment where beauty and athletics are coming together, something that me, as growing up as an athlete, felt like these were two separate parts of my personality. But let me just hit you with a couple things that I've heard in the last month to support my thesis. But we know Glossier had signed on as a sponsor of the WNBA. Mm-hmm. Unrivaled 3-on-3 women's basketball. Sephora is a sponsor. Then I see Charlotte Tilbury last month is sponsoring the F1 Academy 2024.
Let's go.
Right? That's a project for Formula One to develop female drivers to be more a part of their competitions. And then last week, e.l.f. became the first beauty sponsor of the NWSL, which is the National Women's Soccer League. So they're going to be presenting sponsor all the way through 2027.
And Mielle Organics has teamed up with the WNBA as well. And then I know In Beauty Project is now the official skincare sponsor of the Miami Open. We're just it's just happening. Nice. I love this.
So there's this athlete, by the way, that I've been trying to get on to talk about this with me, and we had to reschedule twice. But then I was like, in the meantime, I want to talk to Julie about this because you were an athlete in college like I was. Did you feel, and this is where I feel like things might be changing, but I'm not sure yet with these sponsorships. I always felt like I couldn't love beauty if I was an athlete because people wouldn't take me seriously as an athlete if I was bringing a look to the fields.
It's so interesting because with track, it's a little different.
One example, my one that I could think of was FloJo growing up because she was an icon to me. But I couldn't think of any other athletes.
Jackie Joyner-Kersee, all track, and think about the nails, the lashes. Honestly, the more glam you were when you stepped on the track, you were like, oh, I'm about to get my ass beat. Because, or when the girls that would come with the knee-high socks with their spikes, you were like, you can't come that flashy unless you're good.
So the other women would be respect. But don't you feel like outsiders and men would be I just feel like
Not
I would
for
always
track.
Not for track. It's a different type
it felt like more like a show. And it's like an all-day thing. You know, track meets aren't just like 2, 3, 4-hour game. This is like from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You're there all day. You're running from event to event. And it's a little bit of a show. I loved it. And again, I think because of our icons like FloJo, it was kind of this accepted thing. If you look at the Olympics, these women, they've got not only their nails done, they've got jewelry on, they've got their hair is in different colors.
Frankly, it makes it more fun to watch.
Yes. You've got like multicolored braids or ponytails or like whatever it is. Like it was such a show. Track, I think, is honestly the best example of how beauty was also a part of just the sport of it all. And again, it would get into your competitors' minds. Because if you're coming with 5-inch nails to run against me, like you know that person is good. No one comes on the track that flashy and they're not good. It's a signal to everyone else, I'm the chick to beat.
Yeah. I'm going to get so nerdy on this, but I know you can nerd out with me. So Roman history times, like back then, the athletes were the entertainers. They were one and the same, right?
The gladiators.
So a lot of it was showmanship in a way. And track has its roots in, you know, Roman and Greek. Some of those.
Are you not entertained?
Exactly. And clearly all the other sports that we love and watch are entertainment at the end of the day. The fact that these sponsors want to be part of this is because they know eyeballs are on it because we enjoy watching it. So I think it all makes sense. But I just still struggled with it because I felt like, oh, well, are you Like, did you ever hear the term? You had the term tomboy, right?
Yeah.
Did people call you a tomboy ever?
I was always very girly still. So it wasn't a tomboy situation. Like I was always still girly, but there were tomboys that I ran with or like I participated in sports with. So I get it. It was just like a little bit more boyish and like didn't care about their way their hair looked or like whatever. And like that was fine too. Those people, it wasn't like they weren't good. It was just, I think my particular sport was glorified beauty in a way that was a part of the show. Again, because you have all of these events too. It's like the 100 meters, like everyone's there. This is less than 12 seconds of a race. You know what I'm saying?
You better look good doing it.
You better look good doing it. And like the crowd is ready. The competition is so close. You know, like those sorts of the sprinting events. And like I was a long jumper. I was a sprinter and a long jumper. And flying through the air, you want to look good.
Yeah. And I guess it comes down to as long as the performance isn't affected. Because I remember, was it in rugby? I think her name's Alana. She was big at the Olympics last summer. And Maybelline ended up sponsoring her because she kept wearing this Maybelline lipstick in all of the things. And I was like, this woman's a beast. She's an amazing athlete. So of course she can wear lipstick.
Yeah.
But I feel like if she messed up on, men and sports announcers, maybe female or male, would have been the first people to be like.
She was too worried about her lipstick than like training for her event.
I think that's what got in my head early, that I was keeping the two separate. Is that what I'm hearing?
The patriarchy needs to go away.
I need to work on my mental wealth with regards to that. Clearly, though, the beauty brands are not.
I love that the beauty brands are tapping into it.
It's about time, right?
So interesting. Like we came up in the Title IX of it all. Now these athletes are also able to monetize their talent and magic. I was just with my girlfriends from college. We were all track runners. And we were talking about if we were running now, we could literally have endorsements. Like that was against the rules before. And now you can actually I could have teamed up with Elf and which
would have been perfect for you. Like a athlete with, yes, you could have been best of both.
It's just not our time, but it's fine. I love it now that athletes are able to do this because we give a lot. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to our universities, our colleges, and they're getting a lot out of it. They're selling tickets, they're doing the things. And so if you can also benefit, great.
And maybe it'll keep girls in sports. Because actually, one other thing I wanted to point out, Elf was talking about within their sponsorship, they're going to be doing these Glow for Glory contest, hosting tryouts for the NWSL, because we know this, we've heard this stat before, but by age 14, many girls drop out of sports, 2 times the rate of boys.
Yes. Dove is doing a lot of work around that. Dove is doing great work around making sure girls do not drop out of sports. It's not even about what level of sport you're at. It's just don't stop.
And it's social reasons, it's access reasons, it's not feeling confident.
Yes. I'm a better Julie because I was an athlete. I'm sure you're a better Jen because you're an athlete.
People ask me all the time why I luckily don't think I have a lot of hangups around body and beauty. Every single time I'm like, it's because I was an athlete. Because I was praised for what my body could do, not what my body looked like. And again, maybe the praise isn't great,
and
but
just
it made
like the
me value
competition.
it. Yeah.
The competition of it all.
Oh my God, everybody put your daughters in sports.
Yes,
put your kids in sports. If you're in sports, don't stop. And maybe you'll get a sponsorship from Charlotte Tilbury.
Look, it's a new world.
We'll take your money.
Do it. I say go for it.
I'm glad you're feeling this as much as me. But this next thing, we'll see how you feel about this. I did not prep you for this, but I am seeing a beginning of a resurgence in tasteable and lickable beauty products, or at least naturally scented things.
I repeat,
so just an example.
Go. I love this.
Let's go. Okay, there's this brand, Amaretto. And I remember early February, they came out with this perfume and they're like, it's the world's first lickable perfume. And I was like, And then Jessica DeFino, she writes a newsletter on Substack, said the thing that I had in my head, which was, this is not the world's first lickable perfume. You're nodding. What was your thought?
I feel like there was before. Who was it?
Jessica Simpson.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, what a pioneer. Jessica Simpson really was able to, she really crafted, like she dreamed some other dreams. She came with $1 billion plastic fall apart shoes, whatever, but they were cute.
Those shoes are still going strong.
They are cute. They were cute designs. They would literally make your foot scream.
Spoken by a
after
fashion editor.
An hour, but fine. But $1 billion brand. And she gave us lickable perfume.
Dessert by Jessica Simpson. What a time.
Dessert.
This is just like recalling, I don't know, this will age everybody if you can remember
Such a
this
core
or not.
Memory.
I want to say like 2006. I don't know. That's a guess.
I feel like
whatever her tuna era was with like, is this tuna fish, chicken fish, which she's now.
Chicken from the sea?
Yeah, which she's now back as
a chicken.
I think she and her daughter are doing commercials for that again.
That was one of the most iconic reality show
early
lines
memeable.
Ever.
Before memes were a thing, it was a meme.
It was a meme before memes were a thing. But you were right, dessert.
Lickable perfume. It was body powders. I want to say Urban Decay did one at that time too. That was like
I think
a shimmer
like the
powder.
Limited 2 might have had one or something.
Oh yeah. So this is not a new concept, but I was like, why now again is this coming
send
out?
This to Linda Levy. This has got to be in the Innovations Foundation.
But that's my point, though. Is it an innovation? Like, this is not a new idea.
Nothing's ever really new. Are they making it better? Does it taste better? Does it smell better?
I think the premise is that it is more sophisticated palette. So the scent is called Late Night Gelato. And to me, it's like it probably just made...
But okay.
It probably just made sense because of those... The gourmands are so hot right now, and the obvious extension of that is you smell so good I could lick you. Well, like, let's make it non-toxic and lickable.
I just don't want to put anything on, like, when you say gelato, it makes me feel like it's going to be sticky and gross.
And it has to be a food-safe glycerin base.
Like, just call it late night licks or something. Can I put it near my vajayjay?
Funny you should ask. Okay, so that one is not meant for there. However, another brand, this goes back to like when I don't talk negative about brands, but an unnamed brand sent me their new lubricant. And it happened, so it's for intimate play, self and others, wherever one wants lubricant. It happened to be scented, but it's a natural scent, so it's edible. But the scent was like a bitter orange leaf and cedar. And I squirted it out. And I was like, do we want scented lube? Like, because what if mouth play gets involved? Then do I want a mouthful of cedar?
Unless it tastes good. I would say just spray some fragrance, your favorite fragrance, close to it. Not like directly onto your vulva, but like on your inner thigh so that there's a whiff of it when and whoever's going down there is going down there.
I don't even need that though. But part of me is like, what if it's on them and my mouth's getting involved? I don't want a mouth full of perfume.
Agreed. But I'm just saying,
if someone wants that experience.
If you want a factory experience, I don't know
Enduring
if I
your
need the
intimate
lube
play
to be scented. I will just like put a little dab of whatever Queen of Silk by my thighs.
And it wouldn't actually end up in your mouth. I think we're going to be seeing a lot.
It wouldn't end up in my mouth. I mean, unless you like your thighs licked. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't like that. Well, if you're using a lube,
I'm just saying like, and then things progress.
Just give me a straight lube.
Right?
Just give me a lube.
I wasn't happy with the product. And I also don't want to associate, you know how like scents get associated with certain things? I don't want it to be like, that's the smell of intimate play, you know?
Right. And if you're not putting it in those areas anyway, back to your lickable fragrance.
Yes. Okay.
If I'm putting it on like my wrists and my neck or something, or like my, I don't know, my décolletage, whatever, like, are we now licking people? Like, is this for, I don't know.
Are we too old?
Is this for, is this for foreplay and sex play? Or is this like just, oh, we're going out on a date and then he might just like lean over and want to lick my neck?
The imagery from the brand I mentioned, the Amaretto, makes me think that they want this to be for foreplay and things like that. But it's also like, maybe the premise is that like, oh, it's so safe you could eat it.
In a post-COVID world, I just don't know we need to be like licking.
Oh, post-COVID, I didn't even think of
You know what I'm saying? We're just like, I don't need someone just licking my neck.
And if they do, I just want it to be me. At that point, we're very, very intimate. You know me, I know you. I don't need a layer of, sorry, what are the scent notes here? I believe it's coconut and vanilla and cherry in the middle of us. That's just me.
Yeah. Look, I'm sure there is an audience out there. I would love to hear if some Fat Mascara listeners are into this sort of thing. Maybe there is a whole community of like, no, we need this. We've been asking for this and it is being delivered and we don't know what you guys are talking about.
Wait, I remember this. This was like, I forget who sold it, but there were lickable body paints. And it was like I was at a bachelorette party and somebody gifted the bride like a chocolate lickable body paint. And we got into a discussion about it. I was like, I am sorry. It's cute in the movies, but nobody at an intimate time really ever wants food.
And then I've got to clean the sheets and stuff.
Exactly.
Like, no, I don't. I mean, sex is messy enough. Now we're like incorporating food and paint.
It's never hot in the moment. Maybe in theory, and that's what I'm going to go with on this perfume. I'm going to die on this steak. The idea might be hot, but there's no way in practice anybody's like, you know what we needed?
We needed a lickable perfume.
No.
This would have taken our session to the next level. No one. But again, there are pockets of communities that love these things, and I am waiting for someone to slide into the DMs or into the voicemail and say, y'all, you're missing out. I can be convinced. To try it. I try anything.
Yeah, no, I think I might have even there was one of those candles, I want to say it was Kiki Montparnasse, I don't know how to say that name. You would know, you're a fashion editor. And they did a candle that melts a lower temperature. So you'd burn the candle and the wax would melt at a lower temperature than normal. So it was like, let's say 110 degrees only. So then you could pour the wax on your partner.
It was like a massage oil.
Yeah,
right?
It's hot for a second, but I don't know. It just never becomes part of the repertoire. It's just a novelty.
It's not, I don't know. But again, why not? The world is on fire. Get some lickable fragrance to make yourself feel better.
Lickable fragrance. On the plus side, I could think on the clean thing too. It's like, oh, if it's so healthy, it's lickable, then I know I'm not putting like whatever. If you're worried about toxic chemicals, this could be a healthier.
chemicals up in there, right?
Of course. But safe for, think about it. I was thinking, was it Takis? I forget what it was. Blue. It was a Cheeto-like thing. And I was like, they made this thing blue. I think it was Takis. It was like a blue fire was the flavor. And I was like, people are worried about chemicals in their beauty products and they're out here eating blue Cheetos.
Blue Cheetos. Exactly. We make concessions for certain things and then others we're like, no, can't do it.
Yeah. Well, and here I am like ranting about lickable perfume. Anyway, you guys, I swear we're going to be seeing more of these. We're going to be seeing more of these. We're going to be seeing more intimate products that like combine beauty and intimacy. I'm here for it. If it makes you happy, do it. Oh my God, I can't go to this last item in the news because it's just so, this is a hard pivot.
What? Go. Let's take this hard pivot.
Let's go to Science Corner. The music will help break it up. Okay, Science Corner. Okay, we had people DMing me about this, so I wanted to bring it up. There was a benzoyl peroxide recall. So I guess this would be 2 weeks ago at this point. The FDA released a statement saying they had tested a bunch of acne treatment products containing benzoyl peroxide and found 6 with elevated levels of benzene. And we know benzene is a carcinogen.
Yeah.
So voluntarily, they told the companies have recalled the products. People are freaking out. And I have written about this. I'm going to link to the story I wrote about this with The Cut. This happened. The same lab that originally found and petitioned the FDA about these acne products found the issue with the dry shampoos and benzene and the aerosol sunscreens and benzene.
Right.
Just so people know what's going on, they don't put benzene in the products, but when certain ingredients break down, or if there's an aerosol propellant, for example, they can create benzene. So in the case of benzoyl peroxide, under extreme heat, in the presence of other plasticizers, that breaks down and benzene can form. And so this lab told the FDA about that. They did
Is this like a company that like just randomly tests these type of things? Or are people like, check this out? Is it like competitors? Like, I have a feeling these people are doing some bullshit over here. So the
test company is Valishore that put in a citizen petition, it's called, to the FDA about these products. The thing is, they test products. That's their company model. They make money when companies want to make sure their products are safe. So in my head, I was like, is this just like a marketing tactic to like call out, look at all this stuff, and then more people are like, I better go to Valishore and get my stuff tested to make sure it's not, so they make sure it's compliant.
Because like, who would want to go there? You'd just be sitting like nervous. Like, are they going to find something?
Of course. And you're like, well, if I'm a Valishore client, will they not include me when they're doing these testings?
Can I also pay them to look at competitor stuff?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
What I'm
this
thinking.
Is a very cynical viewpoint. And if you look at Valishore's website, when they do these citizen petitions, they're very clear on like, we just are worried about the safety of the product. But I'm like, they're not out here spending hours and weeks putting these reports together. I know, but then I'm like, am I just a cynic thinking like money makes the world turn? But I know that's how businesses work.
For sure. But if I was creating a product, I would think that I would personally have been putting in money for the research to make sure that my product was safe and stuff. So why would I then go to this place to then have them test it, right? Unless they're giving out some type of seal or something to say, I would see this more in a nefarious way of like, I'm going to pay to see if my competitors are actually, good.
Yeah. And at one point, the FDA actually went to the labs, Valishore, to look at how they were testing things because they kept bringing them these citizen petitions and they wanted to see if the company was doing things up to par. And it all worked out. Their labs are up to code to be able to test these things. And I'm sure they make money off of the brands that come and say, hey, test me and make sure I don't have benzene contamination. But they have a new CEO last year, so I'm like, I wonder what's going on.
But do they have to then report it? Like if I brought my product there and they were like, yes, this is not good, are they going to then blow the whistle and tell everyone?
No, they would tell the company before they would tell the FDA.
Then the company then has to be like, we got to do a recall because...
yeah.
Right.
Can you imagine if Valishore was like, we just told them they had benzene contamination and like 2 days later it's on sale at Walmart and they're like...
Right.
But what they learned in the process of this, and I spoke to a toxicologist and a cosmetic chemist, I'll link to the story I ended up doing about it, is that there are ways to make sure that this kind of contamination doesn't happen. And if you as a consumer are worried, be careful how you store your products. Heat is a big part of it.
Is it a storing of a product situation? Is it you've had this for 2 years?
It's stabilization on the company's part. They need to stabilize their products correctly. That's one of it. But you as the consumer also want to make sure you're storing things correctly. And there's only 6 products of these 95 they tested, but there's hundreds more products with benzoyl peroxide. So if you're worried, I'll put a list of those, but there are other ingredients that help with acne, obviously, besides benzoyl peroxide, if this concerns you particularly. The last thing I'll say is benzene is everywhere. The toxicologist I spoke to was like, if you're pumping gas, like you literally hold up the gas thing and stick it in your car, you got more benzene exposure than happens in some of the cases that they've tested. Because it's just in the air, like it's part of it. So if you worked with it every day, of course, it can be very dangerous and carcinogenic at certain levels. But yeah, these products have been recalled. Check your products against them, of course, or just don't use benzoyl peroxide if it worries you.
Yeah, there's alternatives.
There are always alternatives. All right, let's go raise some wands. Okay, it is time to raise a wand. We have listener Megan from Chicago. Take it away, Megan.
Hi, this is Megan from Chicago. The product that I've been using lately that I feel like no one talks about is basically just a benzoyl peroxide acne wash. So I have panoxyl in my shower. I like the maximum strength. It's 10%. A little harsh on the face, but I love using it for my body. I've been working out a lot, doing some HIIT workouts, and I get really sweaty driving back home, and I don't, necessarily get the chance to get in the shower right away. And butt acne is a very, very real thing. So I see you have the cleanse, but I raised you panoxyl. My butt has never been smoother. I love it. And then CeraVe also has an acne foaming cream cleanser, and it's a 4%, and that one I like to use on my face. I am using tretinoin the last several weeks, and I'm definitely going through a purge, and it is bringing all the acne up, and this benzoyl peroxide wash is an absolute must to try to fight some of that. And then lastly, I love to use it. Actually, my derm recommended that I use it on my armpits too. I know you just mentioned on this podcast episode about glycolic acid toner to help with that, and that can be a little stingy and burny, but this is a nice way to sort of get that same exfoliation, but without any of the pain, and it definitely helps my odor. So kind of a multi-purpose product that I feel like not enough people are talking about. Sorry for the long note, but love the podcast. Thanks, ladies. Bye.
Okay, I didn't plan this, by the way, guys, but I just love when we have a moment where everything comes together. Not only is she an athlete, she's talking about benzoyl peroxide body washes and face washes. And by the way, both of the ones she mentions, the panoxyl and the CeraVe, not recalled, totally fine. So we will take that raise a wand. And as things get sweatier and we're getting bumpier as the season, who doesn't need a good bump clearing body wash?
I know. So good.
Love it. All right. Homework. So, if you've been listening, listeners and Julie, we just gave out the homework last week of if your hometown had a perfume, what would it smell like? Because Bond Number 9, Julie and my now hometown of New York City, they made a whole brand out of taking neighborhoods and fragrancing them or giving them a perfume.
Harlem, there's streets, there's areas, there's like Central Park West, there's Chinatown, there's Soho, there's Nolita.
And now there's Greenpoint.
Greenpoint, Brooklyn. If you're not familiar with New York City, this is Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Yes. We just thought, where will it end? And it should never end. But I'm curious, Julie, because you grew up near where I grew up.
I did. I grew up in Chester Springs, Pennsylvania, which is very considered...
We're on the opposite sides of Philly with different vibes. So what would Chester Springs be like?
Like horse manure and like honeysuckle.
Wait, that's actually not a bad...
Yeah, I mean, I think you could probably make it work. I mean, I grew up in horse country, Pennsylvania, like the Devon Horse Show. Like, I think Smarty Jones was from my county, like the famous horse in Amish country. Like, I grew up learning how to drive next to like horses and buggies.
Okay.
So definitely like the horse manure, but I also remember honeysuckle and like smelling honeysuckle a lot.
That's funny. That scent to me is very indicative of summers where I grew up. The honeysuckle was like everywhere. However, you're on a more fieldy, hay, horsey side of Philly. I'm on the more marine, riversy. Grew up on the Neshaminy Creek. My dad had Schuylkill, Delaware. It was a lot of water. So I came up with, I'm going to bring in the Amish. Wait for it. I was obsessed with soft pretzels. I still am. I love a soft pretzel.
Yes.
Anywhere in Philly on the corners when you stop, people would be selling soft pretzels.
Or like shoe fly pie from the Amish. They
but I went with the
pretzels. Yeah, pretzels are like a Pennsylvania thing.
I feel like it is. I mean, it's a German thing, but...
Right, but like the Dutch, the Amish.
The Pennsylvania Dutch, yes.
Yes.
There's a pretzel note. There is a marine note, but I want it to be a salty accord because it's not oceanic because we're river marine, but it's like a salty river.
Salty.
Do you get it?
River, yes, I smell it.
And then, are you ready for my base note?
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little bit of a rebel. South Street was cool back in the day.
Yes.
I'd go to South Street. I'd go to Zipperhead to buy my hair dye because you could not get your Manic Panic at ye old Target.
On the
it was like
the facade.
Yeah, it was like punk. It's like the punk scene was huge there.
It with the ants coming out?
Yep, you remember. Yeah.
Yes.
I actually haven't been to South Street in a minute. I feel like that's probably not there
I was in
anymore.
Philly last weekend.
Zipperhead's not there. There's no way.
I don't know if Zipperhead's there. We didn't really go to South Street. We like passed by it quickly.
You'd go to the record, I'd go to the record store. I'd go there, and then I'd go buy my and there was a hippie store with patchouli stuff. So I'm going to give it.
Yes.
I'm going to give it a punk rock patchouli base note.
River pretzel vibes.
I don't know if that's going to smell good. I feel like if David Seth Moltz from DS and Durga were here, he would get into it and make a perfume.
Absolutely.
And then we can get Maison de Toe. I forget her name, the founder. Sorry, honey.
The horse manure.
Yes, she can make your perfume.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Look, I love this. I want to hear other people's what they would smell like.
Same. Call us 646-481-8182. Leave us a little message. Tell us where you're from because I'm also curious where people are from that are listening and what your hometown would smell like. You don't have to get nearly as evocative as Julie and I did, but we got into it. Do you have a razor wand for everyone?
I do. And it's definitely, again, full circle.
Okay, love it.
Shark Beauties. Have we talked about this? Have you guys talked about this yet?
Wait, mine's in the bedroom because I'm using it every night.
Every day I've been using this. I'm not giving up. I will take this on our trip. This.
Wait, tell people what it is. They can't see.
Shark Beauty's Cryo Glow LED and Cryo Mask is honestly holy grail. I'm sorry, I've tried a lot of LED masks. This one, to me, I feel like I'm seeing the effects, and I think it's like that cryo LED combination.
To me, the big difference is the under eye cooling. I've never seen that on other LED. You look less puffy after you put that thing on.
Absolutely. You can control the cooling. Also, the nanometers, it goes down like 800 and something, 860 nanometers.
You mean the infrared? It's not just
infrared.
LED visible light. There's an infrared to make it penetrate deeper. Yes.
Exactly. And most
science corner over here.
But I'm saying most don't go nearly that deep.
No, a lot of them have just the red and the blue. They don't have the infrared part of it.
Right. And even a lot of the reds are from 550 to 600. This one's red goes to 650.
Is it a wider range of red?
I guess so. It's just more powerful. I mean, have you seen when you use it, one charge only gets me 2 routines.
Oh, because the diodes themselves are they're giving us doctor level diode strength kind of vibes.
Yes, this is med spa inspired, dermatologist tested routines. It's really good. I'm really impressed with it. I think it's about $350, $400, something like that. So it's not cheap, but I've also seen other LED masks that are more expensive that don't penetrate or don't work as well. And it keeps your routine on the little.
Which routine have you been doing? The skin clearing or the
I have been doing the skin clearing because I've been breaking out lately. So I've been doing the skin clearing. I do the skin sustaining one for sure. And then I like the glow one, for the brightening.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of hyperpigmentation. So I'm sit there and I'll do 3 back to back and then take it off.
Are we allowed to do that?
I don't think it hurts. I've looked it up that you can't really OOD. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I'll do a few.
Because it only takes it's 6 minutes or 8 minutes, I think. So yeah, they're short.
They're very short. And I'm like, no. We're going to get some more. Because I've gone to places where I've sat under an LED light for 20 minutes. So I don't think that it's
the
bad.
Time. Yeah.
The timing is bad. So anyway, I really love it. And I have to say, the face is really friendly on this. When I take selfies, it doesn't look scary.
My husband said I look like sexy Iron Man when I put it on.
It's not, I feel like there are some
You know what? Actually, now that you're holding
really
it up,
scary.
I think they probably did that on the front. The mouth looks like an upturned mouth. You're absolutely right, Julie. They did that on purpose so we feel like we're happy when we're wearing it.
Yes. And again, it's like a friend, when you do a selfie and you put it on social media, it doesn't look like what the heck is on that person's face.
No,
they look scary.
Happy because she's getting light treatments.
It's a cute face. She's getting her light treatment. I don't know. Win-win. Shark Beauty. Bravo.
I feel like
10
you're
out
an
of 10.
overachiever. I'm only doing it once a night. Now I'm like, damn it, Julie's doing it 3. This is the competitive spirit in me.
Yes. But I'll do it all in one sitting. If I'm sitting here and I'm writing emails or whatever, and the 8 minutes go by quickly, I'm like, I'll just do another one.
Oh yeah, because you can see through. You can look at things and it's portable, so you can walk around and do stuff and you don't have to hold it.
But like you said, those little cryo things under the eyes are game changers. Game changers.
I second your Raise a Wand. I have my own just because I think it's super cool. I'll still do it, even though I'm like, you're right, that is a good thing. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so this is the brand Tilt Beauty.
Oh, yeah.
A new inclusive brand for people with mobility issues. They're leading with that because the packaging is so ergonomic and easy to open.
Arthritis, national arthritis. Oh, sorry, keep going. Sorry.
No,
we're beauty editors.
I love it.
It's I love when we can geek out.
Give me the talking point. The Arthritis Foundation certified it. And there's a mascara and lip ease, tinted lip balms right now. And at first I was like, the plastic packaging is so yummy and chunky. But then I was like, damn it, that's not good for the environment. But they made the thing refillable. So the very ergonomic, easy to open mascara and lip thing is refillable. So I love that. They have endorsements from people on the website who have mobility issues or have had an amputation or a birth defect without an arm, that you can do it with one hand. It's a little bit harder, obviously.
Right.
But just the fact that someone who with a shaky hand or arthritis and pain can do mascara and lip with
I love that.
And the mascara is great.
What was the name of that brand, too, that did one, that eyeliner, and it had a wand, and it was for people? Oh, God, I forget what it's called.
It was Guide Beauty, yes.
Guide Beauty, yes. So good. It was
still around and founded by a makeup artist who had Parkinson's, and her liner, it's easy to use.
She had that little wand thing that you could literally put your eyeliner on, holding it kind of down. You didn't have to do all of the gymnastics we have to do sometimes to put on eyeliner. So it was so smart.
They both are. The more companies that think about inclusive design when they're designing, the better.
These are the type of products we need, not another mascara in a regular tube.
Give
us a mascara for a community that is lacking access to a mascara.
And make it refillable so that I don't need to buy the big plastic piece every time.
So smart.
This is great. If you have also an older person who wants to do mascara, that it's getting harder. All right, I'm done. Everybody agrees with me.
I mean, 10 out of 10. We both had we both co-signed our Raise a Wands.
It does mean we didn't discover ability. We didn't teach each other something new.
Right.
But maybe we taught the listener something new.
But also, that's a actual fat mascara. I'm just saying.
I wish you guys could
it's a fat tube.
Just then, you just turned like my dog when he sees something curious, sideways,
yes.
It is a fat mascara, Julie.
It is a fat mascara.
That's why they pay you the big bucks with that creative brain of yours.
Keep it coming.
All right. Well, everybody get your beauty sleep. Come on back on Friday. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed the show. It's your reviews and feedback that help us make the podcast even better. Head over to iTunes to rate and review us, or email your thoughts to info@fatmascara.com.
We also want to answer your beauty questions and hear what products you love. To share a Raise a Wand product review or to ask a beauty question, email us at info@fatmascara.
If you send it as a voice memo file, we can even share your voice on the podcast. You can also do that by leaving us a voice message. Our phone number in the United States is 646-481-8182.
Thanks so much for listening.